Right, well, there's the throw in now. Big McGurk in ruck there with Crothers. It comes across here to Hamilton. Here's a chance again for the Lavington side. A big kick by Hamilton down towards the forward line. Wilson's there, and it was played very, very well indeed by Mansell. The players went up there, 3 or 4 of them. Mansell decided, well, look, I'll stay at home, and it went straight to him and straight through for a major score. So it was very well read indeed by Mansell.
Good play by Dick Hamilton, the coach of the Lavington side too. Got the ball moving quickly as we watch young Mansell read this very well off the pack, and they're the ones you love when you're playing football. And a good goal by Mansell, and that has actually put Lavington just in front.
Well, there's almost 33 minutes gone in this first quarter. It's a very long quarter, of course, because of that melee in the opening minutes. There have been spontaneous melees throughout the quarter as well, and that'll add to considerable time to this first quarter. It's McGurk against Crothers for this tap out. McGurk wins it for Lavington. It's pushed further afield by Killeen. Barr, he's tackled by Garvey. Garvey kicks towards half back for the Bulldogs. It gains no distance except sideways. Now Killeen's got the chance to pick up again. He does. Looks for his options. He's got a fortnight to get rid of it. Now he goes to half forward, and he's picked out Barr. Barr at half forward for the Blues, looking to put them into attack one more time, perhaps before this siren goes to end the first quarter. No one can mark Mansell in front, pivot behind for Wodonga, keeps it in play, and Wodonga will clear again, but it's smothered by their own player. I'm not quite sure what he had to do there to get that ball. Stacks on the middle, the umpire says play on. Well, it's very scrambly at this stage. Now Alba's got the chance, he's caught. Play on, but now the umpire says it'll be a ball up virtually at half forward for Lavington, and they'll be desperate to get their 5th goal on the board. They're 2 points ahead, but Wodonga's having most of this play in the opening term.
I mentioned earlier, but I'm very impressed with the way young Michael Killeen is playing and getting to the ball and taking his time and not overawed by the occasion. Playing very well.
Killeen is playing well. Now it's McGurk down to Stevens, who can't take it for Wodonga. McGurk shepherds well. Now to play on Holmes. No, that was Lappin, couldn't break free. The umpire had already called out of bounds, and it will be a boundary throw in about 70 metres around from the Lavington goal.
A little difficult to pick the players up across the ground there, but here's a handball, good handball by the Lavington side. It's going down towards the forward line. Big Wilson couldn't take the mark. Peffert puts the pressure on. Wilson gets the ball out, but it comes across here towards the boundary line. Big Mac goes in heavily there, but it will be picked up in defence by the Wodonga side as they clear it down towards centre wing, and Big Bear Allen and also Pendergast. Pendergast going through strongly. It's West now has got the ball. He gets it across to Neville Shaw of the Lavington side. Now we've got Schultz. His kick goes down towards, it was Albers there, and it's a bit of a stalemate at the moment. Move over there on that half-forward line for Lavington.
Well, the ball is, as you suggest, Gavin, going up and down the ground, but it's just, I think one side is going to break, certainly in the second quarter, because it's just too tight a game at the moment, and nobody's getting any ascendancy whatsoever.
I think we're going to see some very tired footballers, because as we see 35 minutes on the time clock, there's the siren now to end the first quarter. The siren goes to end the first term as we see Lavington 4-1-25, lead Wodonga 3-5-23.
He's been given a free kick, as has Matt McGurk, and this is not beyond him. He's only about 55 metres out.
Well, Matt McGurk 55, but it certainly is beyond him. The siren had gone, but a free kick was given, but Matt McGurk decided I'll have a go at it, but he was too far out, so that first quarter scoreboard remains the same. Lavington 4-1-25, a 2-point lead over Wodonga 3-5-23.
Move just quickly, your thoughts on the first quarter.
Well, a good contest so far, Nick. A bit of nick and tuck there, and as I said, the side that gets the ascendancy in the second quarter, with this breeze that's blown up, will certainly be chasing the leather after the half-time.
Well, welcome back here to the Albury Sports Ground. It's 4 goals 1-25 Lavington to 3 goals 5-23 Wodonga, and there's a siren to start this second quarter, and it'll be umpire Ken Wright from the Albury Umpires Board to start proceedings. There's the bounce. It's Wilson who wins the tap out for Lavington. Ball goes to half forward for the Blues. No one can pick up. Now it's that was Elbers with the ball now. Elbers goes towards full forward, looking for McGurk. McGurk well spoiled, but now Shaw's got a chance to keep it in play. He can't do so. It'll be out of bounds just beside the Lavington point post there. Only a minute gone in this first quarter.
Nick, Lavington seem to have Neville Shaw playing as a forward pocket player and potentially a rover with this hot conditions fresh coming onto the ground, coming into the game during the quarter.
Well, he really struggled in that first quarter with Stevens tagging him, of course.
Well, West a little unlucky there. He came from behind, but the man in front will be paid the mark there for the Lavington side and Holmes. And there's Holmes' kick. It's not a very good one down towards Neville Shaw. Coming through here very strongly for the Lavington side was at Lamont, and his kick has fallen short and it's gone into the hands of the Lavington player in Barr. So lucky break for Lavington there, but there's Barr now with his left foot kick, but it's dropped short, and Greenhill has come in to take the mark quite strongly. He gets a lead across here from Gleeson, and Gleeson now in defence for the Wodonga side. There's his big long clearing kick down towards centre wing. Prendergast gets the ball and across here to the Lavington player. Let's have a look at this player in number 15. And Lamont it is, the speedster, the blonde-headed player for the Lavington side. The ball's fallen into the Wodonga forward line. Picked up by West now. West shoots for goal. Didn't quite take his time, and he's off direction, and only a minor score for the Bulldogs. So they go on now to 3 goals, 6-24 to 4-1-25. Only a point in it in the 1990 Ovens and Murray League Grand Final here at the Albury Sports Ground, and a very big crowd and perfect football conditions for the culmination of the 1990 footy season.
Interesting sidelight too, Gavin, that Drew Pevitt has gone onto the ball and looks to be playing in the centre on Richard Hamilton.
Well, now it's Lavington's Bar with the ball. He elects to play on and goes the left foot towards Pendergast. Pendergast and Allen. It's Pendergast who wins out on this occasion. He handballs across to a teammate in Schultz. Schultz, now it's Wodonga in charge, but Lavington pick up the ball. Caught perhaps, notices the umpire. Schultz again, gets it across, looking for Lappin. Good play, Lappin keeps it in front. Now it's Stevens with the run of the ball for Wodonga. Matt bumps him heavily off the ball. Let's play on. Now Wodonga in charge. They'll clear. No, they won't. Now's the chance for Whitehead. He throws the ball out. Well, that was interesting. And it's cleared by Stevens towards half forward. Allen in front can't take the mark, but he's been awarded the free kick for a head-high tackle. And Allen's got the free kick at half forward for the Bulldogs, looking to put them into attack and perhaps score their 4th goal, which would, of course, put them 5 points ahead. There's a kick from Allen. He's got the lead from Salinger, is it? Salinger and Murphy collided. It's been a push in the back. It'll go to Murphy. Well, that's interesting, Murph.
I thought that was there actually, Nick. Both the big players, Salinger and Murphy, were in front of the pack, and for no apparent reason both of them got bowled over. And I did see the hand go out from a Lavington player.
Well, here's the chance for Big Murphy, and he kicked some very good goals in the preliminary final last week, and he could put Wodonga back in front here as they trail by 1 point at this stage in the early part of the second quarter. He's about 35 to 40 metres out. There's Big Murphy's kick now, and it's a badly directed kick going right across goal, and we'll wait for the umpire's decision. The boundary umpire says out on the full, so a free kick to the Lavington side, and this will be taken by Jones down there in the back pocket for the Lavington Blues. So Murphy had the chance there, but his kick was right astray and went out on the bounce on full. There's Murphy trying to get it back into play for the Wodonga side, but the ball's beaten him out and a throw-in will take place. We've got Wilson and Bear Allen in ruck, and those two players will certainly know when this game is over in these very warm conditions. It's knocked out here to McKenna. He couldn't get the ball out. Barr dives on it for Lavington. He's over the ball, and we'll see what the umpire's decision is. Holding the man in that particular case. So the ball went astray from Barr, and holding the man went to him. Barr's playing quite well for the Lavington side too. His kick goes out to Prendergast, who is holding on to Pevitt, and Pevitt will pick up the free kick for the Wodonga side. There's Pevitt's kick, and Murphy's got it all on his own here. He gave a bit of a shove out to the player there for Lavington in Jones, and the umpires decided that was on, so Jones will pick up and clear away for Lavington in defence, and he's got a lead out here for the Lavington side by Holmes. He couldn't take the mark, but gets his boot to ball, and it'll go out close to the boundary line, but it's been marked there by Lavington.
Lamont now in the half-back position for Lavington. The left foot kick goes towards central wing, waiting in front, uncontested. Wilson, easy mark. Now it's play on. Lavington go across the ground. It's a poor kick. Oh, no, it's not. It's a good pass. Sorry, my apologies. That's Killeen. The left handball to Elbers. Elbers has got a chance from 50. The right foot kick right to the teeth of goals. Players fly, but it could bounce through for a behind. Yes, Cordy sees it over the line safely. And Lavington go on to 4 goals to 26. A 2-point lead over Wodonga, 3-6-24.
There was a bit of a rumour swept the Wodonga camp, boys, that Murphy had broken his hand in the first quarter, and I just noticed down there that he's got it very, very heavily strapped.
Well, a great mark by Albers, who's playing very well for Lavington now. He gets the lead from his captain, coach, and Hamilton. Hamilton looking for another one over here to Wilson, who'll do it easily. And bad marking by the Wodonga defence there as Wilson was left on his own. He's a long way out. He can kick the ball long, but he's certainly not the sort of player that you'd back too heavily. But there's his kick. It's a pretty ordinary sort of torpedo. But Mack coming out has taken the mark. Oh, and the umpire says play on. Well, I think Ray Mack is very unlucky not to be paid that mark there. That's
if he didn't mark it, I don't know who did, Gavin.
Well, dear oh dear, that should have been paid. And Ray Mack was actually just about going back for that one. But anyway, not paid, and the umpire will bounce the ball right in front of the Lavington goal, and it's knocked through and hits the goal post. So a minor score will go up for the Lavington side. They can count themselves pretty unlucky there, but that's the way footy goes, and we see Lavington go on now to 4 goals 3, plays Wodonga 3-6, so a 3-point lead to the Lavington side. We've played near on 6 minutes into the second quarter in the O&M Grand Final. Nickel looking for a lead now, the fullback for the Wodonga side. It's a very nice kick, a very long kick by that player, and a very nice mark has been taken here by the Lavington player in Holmes, coming into the game a little into the second quarter. Now here's the lead downfield by the Lavington players. It's Big McGuirk getting underneath it. He couldn't take the ball. The ball's dropped short here and picked up by Mack. Mack fighting very hard for the ball. He is pushed and shoved, but it's come across to Wodonga in defence and getting the ball away there. Down towards Garvey. He couldn't take the mark. Holmes knocks it across here to Neville Shaw. Neville Shaw, a nice little left footer, and that'll go across to Colleen. Lavington putting the pressure on now as they go down towards the forward line, and here's a chance for Ralphie Albers coming into the game. Ralphie's trying to get his boot to ball. He does so, but he's off direction, and a minor score will take place.
Making a little bit of trouble there at half forward, but he looks all right now. He's just got up. As Wodonga prepare to bring the ball back into play, they're trailing by 3 points.
Interestingly, boys, that's the first minor score that for Lavington has been kicked off the boot. All of their points have been rush scores.
Well, there you go. It comes back to pivot at half back for the Bulldogs, and he'll look to clear them towards the central wing. Flying there is Baines. He can't take the mark. Now Lamont has a chance. Great play, Lamont. Dodges 2 players. Now he's caught with the ball. Play on, says the umpire. Shaw bumped off the ball. But now Lavington go through into attack, but it's a poor kick. And Elba's on top of that player. I can't see who it is. Is it Greenhill?
Dale Gleeson.
Gleeson at half back for the Bulldogs. Sizes up his options. Now he goes long towards the wing. Coming from behind was Schultz. Now Pendergast has got the run of it. He dodges. Left foot kick towards the centre of the ground. Shaw and Stevens. Stevens may have been pushed in the back. Yes, says the umpire. And Stevens, that's Mark Stevens, will take the ball for Wodonga.
Ralphie Albers has picked up the tempo for Lavington, and he's playing very, very well. He's giving them a little bit to kick to in the forward area, and he's really putting his body in.
Well, Garvey gets the ball down to the forward line for Wodonga, but doing it well with Stanlake, but he's been smothered by Murphy there. West picks up the ball, gets his boot to the ball, and it put it through. That's a great effort by West for the Wodonga side. Stanlake tried to handball across. It was intercepted by Murphy, picked up by West, and full points for the Wodonga side. We'll have a replay of that in a moment, so you will see what a fighting effort was by West, but Murphy's the sort of player that does drift down from the wing and pick up a number of goals.
Fantastic Rovers goal. That's his second goal for the match, and showed a lot of strength to be able to bust that tackle, and that's given Wodonga a little bit of a little touch of the lead anyway by about 3 or 4 points.
Well, Wodonga back in front now. That's interesting as the ball's bounced again between Wilson and Crothers. Wilson taps out, but Wodonga take it. Now Crothers picks up his kick smothered, comes towards pivot. He's out of the action, and Lamont will clear for Lavington towards half forward. Plays in the race for the ball. Grimond couldn't take it for Wodonga there. Now it's a chance for Lavington, but well played Cordy. He gets the big thump towards half back, and Crothers has got the chance to clear for the Bulldogs. He does so. The right foot kick towards the centre of the ground. Hamilton in front, can't take the mark, but Lavington's still in possession, and they'll go forward. No, kick smothered. It's back in Wodonga's field of play. They're in real trouble, Lavington. It's Garvey, I think, running towards an open goal, and he's just missed it. It's gone to the right of the goals, and that's a minor score, but Garvey came a long way up the field move to kick that behind.
Yeah, I agree with you, Nick, and one thing that Lavington have got to do is get McGuirk to take a few marks up in the forward line. He's being knocked off the ball very easy, and he's one player that Lavington are looking forward to take a couple of grabs.
Let's have a look at that scoreboard now as we see Wodonga 4 goals 7-31, and they lead Lavington 4-4-28, so there's only 3 points in it, and we've paid nearly 10 minutes. Here's a chance now, running into open goal as Barr for Lavington, and straight through the middle. Barr and some of their smaller players coming right into this game in the second term. Barr, Elbers, Lamont and co. And Barr was able to get that goal, and a very, very good one indeed. So
well, we mentioned, we mentioned West goal up the other end just a moment ago, and this is an equally good goal for Lavington by Barr. Good, strong goal, and as you mentioned, Elbers and Barr certainly lifting their tempo.
It's a great play by Elbers there too to get it across to Barr. It was probably as much his goal as Barr's. Did a lot of heavy work to get that across.
Yes, he's doing very well, Elbers, in the second quarter. There's no doubt about that. So Lavington hit the front again. It's a seesaw grand final for the O&M 1990 Premiership race between Lavington and Wodonga. Ball in the centre of the ground now. Neville Shaw trying to get the ball out. Does very well to get it across here to, it looks like Lappin and also Elbers. Elbers quickly across to his playmate in Lappin, but couldn't get it across to him, and the ball comes across to centre wing. West has got it, but the ball will go back, and a free kick will take place here to Stevens. Stevens for the Wodonga side. And there's Stevens looking down the forward line for the Wodonga side, but they were outgunned there by Lavington. Too many Lavington defenders, and Brown will take the clearing quick kick across to McGurk, and McGurk in front of Cordy this time and does it very well. It's a good kick by Brown, and here's the lead now by Mack. Mack is under it, just can't sort of take the mark there. It comes across to McKenna. McKenna's got the ball for Wodonga, across to Garvey. Garvey's kick has been picked up by Mack. There's a lead coming out from Baines, and Baines does it well. He's about 40 metres out on an angle, but a chance for Lavington to get their sixth goal on the board. So some good work by the Lavington players there to get it down to Baines. This is number 13 for the Lavington side. Baines lining it up now. It'd be about 45 metres out. He's got a good chance. He's not a bad kick, and there's his kick for goal, just drifting to the right, and it will go through for a minor score. So Lavington move on to 5-5, 35 and 4-7, 31, Wodonga. We'll have a look at the mark in just a moment as it comes down to Baines. And as you can see, he did it very well.
A very good mark from the former North Melbourne player too. Baines spent 2 years down at North Melbourne under 19s in the seconds and made a mark for himself.
Now Wodonga brings the ball back into play, but it's picked up by Lavington. That was Holmes, but he can't keep it in play, and it will be a free kick to Wodonga for out of bounds on the full, I think, to be taken by West. West has really come into this game in the second quarter. He's got a few kicks, and he'll look to put Wodonga deep into attack, or at least a central wing with the long kick. And Bear Allen's also come up the ground looking for a mark, but he elects to go short. Shaw's in the way, but he can't get there. Interesting mark to Wodonga. It's play on, and Cordy goes towards half forward. And it's all players in front. That was Gleeson, sorry, on that occasion. Now comes to Pendergast. Oh, great play by Stanlake. Stanlake gets it across to Wilson. Wilson to Lappin. Lappin just starting to come into this game. He goes straight across the ground to Lamont. Lamont's got a long way in front of him. Now he goes the left foot kick towards half forward, but there's no one there for the Blues. And Wodonga will clear again, but it's a bad handball. He was spragged as he got rid of it, and it's Holmes again. Sends the left foot into attack, looking for his teammate, but just out of bounds on the full. No. The umpire rules it was touched.
It was very close.
Touch and go. We'll give the umpire the benefit of the doubt, I think. But one player that has lifted his tempo in the last 5 or 6 minutes is Johnny Lamont from Lavington. He's coming right into the game as well.
So it's big McGurk, and McGurk gets the handball out here to Mack. Mack's handball is straight up in the air, but he's still fighting very hard for the Lavington side. It's picked up here by Mansell for Lavington. His kick has gone astray, and only a minor score for the Lavington Blues. So what have we played in this second quarter?
14 minutes.
Nearly 14 minutes. So Lavington, 5 goals, 6-36, 4-7-31. So it's only 5 points. There's nothing in it in the grand final for the O&M Premiership race. And here's a chance now for the Lavington side, and a long kick towards goal, and it looks very good indeed.
Lamont.
And Lamont it was. He's been a star in the final series for the Lavington side. He's a very good player. There's no... How old did he say he was, Murph?
Oh, I think he's 21 or 22.
21, 22. But he's certainly showing a lot of skill and an excellent footballer for the Lavington side. I was just wondering if the AFL scouts are around seeing this bloke play in the second semi and grand final here today.
Well, of course, he's been down to Melbourne. He had a stint down there and finished up playing last year in the, I think it was in the VAFA.
An ex-Benalla player also, Murph.
Of course, yes.
All right, well, Lamont doing it well for the Lavington side. 6-6-42, plays 4-7-31. So a little bit of a break here for Lavington, but nothing in it in the grand final as it's cleared there by Elbers for the Lavington side, and a push in the back should certainly go here to that player in Whitehead, the captain for the Wodonga side. Whitehead gets the ball across here to Stevens, who does it well. Stevens looking for Big Bear down here, and he should take the grab without any problems whatsoever. He's a good 50 metres out, Bear Allen. If he can get onto it, he might make the distance. Not the most reliablest of kicks, but we'll see how he goes this time. There's his kick. It's a good one too, going right into the goal front, but Stanley coming across, got a bit of a shove. Salinger picks up the ball. McGee coming onto it now, trying to get onto the left foot, but it'll go out of bounds right in the forward line here for the Wodonga side. So here's a chance for the Bulldogs now to get another score on the board as the boundary umpire will throw in the ball. There you can see McGuirk and also Provers in ruck. Stevens trying to pick up the ball. Can't do so, and it'll be cleared here by the Lavington side, coming down towards Garvey. Garvey gets a big handball across, and it intercepted here by Neville Shaw. Neville Shaw, good in defence, as Albers, who's starring in the second quarter, gets it across to Pendergast. That's good defence by the Lavington side. Pendergast right across here to the centre wing, and we've got Holmes for the Lavington side is outgunned this time by Big Murphy. There's Murphy now. Been a bit quiet in the second quarter, but there's his kick going down towards Stanlake and also Salinger, but Stanlake, too experienced, gives the shove out, and a nice mark to Stanlake in defence for the Lavington side.
Right, ball comes out now looking for Barr. Barr just picks up. Now he swings onto the left foot, but he can't get rid of it. Now he does. Goes towards Shaw. Shaw ducks and weaves. Great play, Neville Shaw. Handballs back to Barr. Barr, the left foot kick in towards the centre of the ground. There's no one there, though, for Lavington. Mack overran it. Now it's Baines off the ground, kicks towards the forward pocket for Lavington. Leading there is Pendergast. He's come up from the back pocket to that forward pocket position. Now Pendergast handballs across to Mansell. Mansell caught, but he gets rid of it, and it comes back to Wodonga's Nichols, I should say. Nichols, the right foot kick towards half forward. McGuirk and Allen. Allen from behind can't mark it. It's play on still. Wodonga in possession. That's Salinger. Salinger, the handball to Allen. He handballs to no one. Now it's picked up by Wodonga. Oh, great play by Stanlake. But the umpire ruled it's a free kick to Wodonga. Did you see what that was for?
Gleeson looks like picking up the free kick. Possibly a shove in the back, but we'll see.
I thought Stanlake had possession of Gleeson when he didn't have possession of the ball, so I think that was there.
Well, Gleeson it is, who'll be kicking from about 50 metres out, looking to put Wodonga's fifth goal on the board. They're trailing 6-6-42 to 4-7-31 with almost 18 minutes gone in this second term of the 1990 Ovens and Murray League Grand Final. There's Gleeson's kick towards goal. I think he's just pushed it to the right. Yes, it's another minor score to the Bulldogs, and they go into 4-8-32, trailing Wodonga by 10 points.
Right, a 10-point advantage here to the Lavington side at very warm conditions here at the Albury Sports Ground, which is in perfect nick for this big one. And who will it be, Wodonga or Lavington? As we see Warren Stanlake now, he's been a great player for Lavington over the years. And there's his kick. It should be picked up by Neville Shaw. Gets a quick left hand. That's good play by Neville Shaw. Gee, he's a good player. Bouncing the ball once here and clearing for the Lavington side down towards the centre half forward line. Baines flying high. Barr is there. He couldn't pick up the ball. It comes across here again to Big Wilson. Wilson could have been held there without the ball and will take the free kick. So this is Big Wilson now for the Lavington side. He'll go back. He'll be looking for a lead from Ray Mack up in the forward line, and also Mansell. Mansell gives him the lead, and it's a good one too. He gets a shove in the back, and that'll be 50 metres. That's stupid play by Wodonga. There was no need for McKenna to do that, and it now gives Mansell a very, very good opportunity of putting 6 points right through the board. I mean, he'd taken the mark, and McKenna gave him the shove. So the 50 metres was definitely on. There was no doubt about that, and this has given Mansell a terrific chance of putting the 7th goal on the board for Lavington.
Boxer McGee on the ground for Wodonga too, Gavin, which will also give them a bit of run.
Yes, well, Boxer McGee did very well last week when he came on, so certainly need that as Mansell lines up for the Lavington side. Let's have a look, and it looks good from here. Wait for the umpire. We can see the two fingers go up, and 6 points on the board for Lavington, so an easy goal there for them.
Yes, the free kick is on here, I guess, and that we just watched this in replay. He takes a mark, and McKenna shoves him in the back, falls over, and gets the obvious 50 metres and makes no doubt about it.
Well, McKenna perhaps was a lucky inclusion in this side. He got stretchered off the ground last week with what looked to be a bad ankle injury, but he came back later in the game and played a fairly serviceable second half too.
It's Ken Mansell's second goal, by the way.
Well, handy break to the Lavington side now in the second quarter, and they're fighting very hard indeed. On one player who has impressed me greatly in the second quarter is player now, number 1, Neville Shaw.
He's certainly lifted his tempo.
Well, he certainly has. He's getting into the hard ball and doing it it very strongly for the Lavington side. A strong mark in defence has been paid here by the Wodonga side in Grimmond. Grimmond gets it across here and it'll be cleared by McGee. That's also there, Gleeson for the Wodonga side. Hamilton coming in strongly, but Gleeson once again picks up the ball. He's doing well for Wodonga. Burgess is on the ground, as we can see, but he backs into the player for Lavington, and I think that was possibly on because the ball wasn't within 5 metres of him, and that was Jones. So Jones gets the free kick and he'll get it across to Pendergast. Pendergast a little short one here for Brown, and Brown will come in and take the mark quite well. So Lavington doing it nicely at the moment. As we see Brown across to McGuirk. McGuirk across to Pendergast. The ball not bouncing properly for him, and it's picked up very well indeed here by Lambourne, but his kick has fallen short, and once again it's been marked in defence and played across here to Stanlake. Stanlake will get onto the left foot and look down to the centre wing of the ground here. It'll be marked by Barr. The little fellas are coming into it for Lavington. They certainly are, as was the case in the second semi, and a great lead by Wilson coming down. He's about 50 metres out. This is good football by Lavington, and opening up the space here for Lavington, and very well done indeed. It was the Lavington player in Lappin. He came back and opened up the space, wasn't picked up by the Wodonga defenders, and Merv, that was very good football coming right down from defence.
Excellent play by the Tree. He waited till Lappin ran into space and just popped it over, and here we see young Paul Lappin, the 17-year-old boy, just lining up, and he could stretch Lavington's lead even further.
Merv, Lavington looking much better when they go into attack. Also a very open forward line.
Well, there's a poor kick, as you did see there, and it will be forced out of bounds in the Lavington forward zone. It was a bad kick there after some terrific play by Lavington.
It was unfortunate for young Paul, because that would have been a handy lead for Lavington as we sort of go into the 22-minute mark, and that lead just before half-time would have been an excellent one.
Well, the umpires picked out a free kick. It'll go to Wodonga. They waste no time in playing on. Now they've got it across half-back and go forward in towards the centre of the ground. Shaw's waiting there for Lavington. Coming from behind, now it's with Stevens. Stevens gets it to Pevitt. Pevitt kicks towards half-forward, looking for Salinger. Stanlake from behind, good punch, but it hits the ground level, and Big Bear Allen's there. The right-foot kick, good pass, but Burgess can't mark. Still in play, good play Burgess. He handballs back to Allen. Allen will have a shot from 30. But he hasn't quite made the distance, but there's a player there for Wodonga. West, young rover. Now he gets it across to his teammate, but it's a poor kick. And Shaw collided with McGuirk, but Lavington's got the ball safely in their possession. Well, that was bad play by West. He really either could have had a shot or picked out a player who wasn't under pressure.
McGuirk is also hurt there in that exchange. He's certainly wringing his hands there. They met very, very heavily indeed.
He's okay.
He should be okay. But he's Neville Shaw, who's played a terrific second quarter, and there's his kick right across to the centre wing. A lot of shoving going on, but a fine mark has been paid here by Barr again, who's been another star for them too. Very rugged player, and he's certainly playing very well. There's the big kick down towards Baines, but Murphy grabbed it nicely. Murphy couldn't get his boot to ball. It's fallen here for the Lavington player Holmes, and a good kick across to Wilson, and he should be paid the mark, no doubt about that. It'll be about 50 to 55 metres out. Lavington doing it fairly comfortably at the moment. They're 7 goals 6, 48 to 4 goals 8, 32. We've played 21 minutes in this second quarter. Now Wilson about 50 out. We'll see if he can get the distance here. There's Wilson's kick, floating down toward the forward line, but it's off direction. Will probably go through for a minor score as it does so. So Lavington will move on to 7-7, 49 to 4 goals 8, 32. But Lavington moving the ball well.
What's given them the impetus, I think, is McGuirk's gone into the ruck, Gavin, and Tree Wilson is sitting in the forward pocket, and he's giving them something to aim to pull at.
17 points of difference as Wodonga take possession at half-back. They'll look to clear, and they do. Cross half-forward, across the ground, half-back I should say, across the ground. Lamont flies for Lavington. He can't take the mark. Now it's picked up by Lappin. Lappin, the young wingman, kissed toward half-forward for Lavington, but it's a push in the back to Wodonga, and that will be Grimmond, or Nichols I should say, to take that free kick for the Bulldogs. Grimmond's just starting to come into this game in the second quarter. He's been a good player in defence, but as Merv said before, Wilson's really starting to exert his influence in that forward line for the Blues. There's the kick towards the centre of the ground. It's Pivot in front. He taps over his head. Hamilton's there. They can raffle at Lavington, but coming in as West. Now it's Gleeson. Gleeson to Pivot. Pivot. Well smothered. Now it's a chance for McGuirk. McGuirk to Albers. Albers, the former Morris medalist. Short kick in. It's a great pass too. And Lavington will kick from about 50 metres out, or 45 metres out I should say, and that will be Baines.
Lavington looking very good. As I said, Big Matty McGuirk is really coming into the game. A handball in to Albers, and Albers across to Baines, and let's hope Andrew Baines tops off the good work created by the players up the ground here.
Well, there's just over 25 minutes gone. We're into time on, but Baines' kick is just offline, pushed it to the left of goals, and it's a minor score to the Blues. There's 7 goals, 850, leading Wodonga by 18 points for 832. As Wodonga prepare to come back into play, there's not many options, but eventually it comes out here to the back pocket. Wallace with Barr on the mark. Wallace sizes up his options at the wing, but there's no one home. He better get his kick going. Now he does. Goes in towards the centre of the ground. Still at central wing. McGuirk in front. Can't take the mark. Only player down was Stanlake there for Lavington, and he should pick up. No, he can't quite pick it up. Was grabbed. Now he gets it to Albers. Albers has got plenty of time to get rid of it. Now he goes to half forward, but there's only one player there. It's Crothers for Wodonga.
I'd like to know how many kicks Albers has had in this second term. He's certainly had a few.
Yes, he's killing.
And there's a good mark taken by Lambert, I think it is, over there for the Wodonga side. Good play too as he comes around into the centre of the ground. A big kick down towards Murphy and also Bear Allen, but neither player can pick it up. Coming through is Schultz. A good defence here by Schultz. If he can get it out, that's what he'll try to do as he does so for the Lavington side. And it will be out on the half-forward line in front of the scoreboard over there. And Lavington having a good lead now of 18 points in this second quarter of the Ovens and Murray League Grand Final.
Just into time on, Gavin.
Into time on, and there's players going for it, but the umpire will have to come in there. Had no chance of getting rid of the ball, Gleeson. Well tackled by Barr, who's done a lot of good, strong work in this second quarter. There's the umpire now to bounce the ball. And certainly a chance for the Wodonga side. They need a goal badly in the second term. Knocked away by Bear Allen. Gleeson fumbles the ball and he's knocked over by the Lavington player. Bear Allen gets it across to West. West, a very quick kick, but it'll be marked by Stanlake, who's been very good in defence. Stanlake across to another good player in Pendergast, and there's Pendergast getting it right across to Colleen. That was a beautiful kick. Here's Colleen on the far side of the ground now at the Albury Sports Oval. He gets a lead from Baines. It's a bad kick, and Baines having a little trouble. Picks it up well low, and across to Colleen again. Colleen down towards big Ray Mack in the forward line for Lavington. Strong work by Nichols here for the Wodonga side. A good clearing kick too, but there's all Lavington out there, and Hamilton should be able to run on the ball here, and probably will handball. No, he'll get the clearing kick right across the ground, and you'll see it being marked there by Lappin. Lappin's all on his own as he gets a lead by Ray Mack, and Ray Mack should do it here. No, it's knocked away at the last moment by Crothers, and it's fallen to the ground and picked up by Nichols for the Wodonga side. Another big strong kick. He knows how to kick the footy, Nichols, that's for sure, as it's punched away. And coming in here for the Lavington side was Lappin, and we'll see what the umpire has paid. A free kick.
Actually, Lappin's right on top of Greenhill over on that wing, as is probably on this wing, young Holmes on top of Garvey.
He's playing very well. Now the ball comes to half forward, but it's Wodonga who clear from half back and come again towards his clubroom side wing. No one can take the mark. West perhaps had the chance. Now it's Brown. He gets it across Garvey. Good shepherd, and Wodonga's got the chance to clear through McGee. McGee goes to half forward looking for Allen. Allen, virtually uncontested, still couldn't take the mark. Easy as you like. Pendergast run through the middle and